Welcome back to part 5 of the Metroid Prime video walkthrough. We'll continue on by exploring the Magmore Caverns. We're at the other end of the Magmore Caverns, entering the Magmore workstation, and we are greeted with some flying pirates. So we're going to try and make short order of these. These pirates can definitely be very difficult because there's 3 of them and there are a lot of environmental hazards nearby. But just do your best to get rid of them. We have some Triclops down here, and one of the things that we can do is turn on our thermal visor and see that there are these 3 electrical panels around the room. Shooting the wave beam at these 3 electrical panels will activate the puzzle and allow us to acquire an energy tank. We've already got 2 more, and now we have the 3rd one done. Once all 3 panels are done, we see a cutscene here where one of these magma-filled tunnels is cooled by some cooling jets. And the hint that we are to morph into this complex. Now, because of the Triclops, I recommend that you deal with the Triclops first, otherwise it's just going to be much more work. And head into this passageway. Scan this panel. Should have read that message there, but the message wasn't really important. All that matters is that now a second passageway is being cooled and we're being put on a timer, so make our way back to this main hub area and go down this second cooled passageway. And once again, scan this panel here. And this will allow us passage to the 3rd side passageway here. And restart the timer. I'm not exactly sure how you're supposed to know to use the thermal visor there and how you would ever figure it out. You know, maybe some people have, but no, in that particular instance I needed some secondary help for that. I did not discover that on my own. Alright, so there are 2 exits to this room. We will take this exit over here. The other one leads to a new area, but unfortunately that passage is blocked off and we need power bombs. Here we have a new creature scan. Morphology: puddle spore. Sentient floating lava mollusk protected by an impenetrable shell. A puddle spore opens when approached, attempting to intimidate with its size. When opened, direct fire to its mantle causes it to flip into a defensive position. If it can slam shut, it ejects a spread of harmful energy globules. So basically the idea is that you fire a shot into its mouth, it'll flip over, creating a temporary platform which you can hop onto, and if you don't fire into its mouth, well, then it'll just shoot some stuff in all directions. So there I got hit from behind. Those puddle spores will disappear after a while. Now here we got a stalactite. Those who are maybe going fast might try to jump over there, but the stalactite lands right on top of the Magmore, and that Magmore will no longer spawn for the rest of the game. We have some more stalactites over here, and we're just going to missile them into existence and have them fall on the floor. Lots of puffers over there. No. Avoid the puffers, avoid the Magmores. See, I'm in the midst of that gas, and I am losing energy badly. But oh well. The big thing is to make sure you get the stalactites there, so in case you have to traverse it. you can do so. Third stalactite, just like the very first one in the previous room, will land on top of Magmor, crushing it and killing it forever. We have some jets of fire here that we have to use. And finally we have the spider ball track that we have to traverse. There's a river of magma underneath. We could attempt to just hop through the river, but I find hopping onto dry grounds can be sometimes problematic, and well, it doesn't take too long. We're going to bypass this elevator and avoid going up the Chozo ruins, and we're actually going to make our way and traverse the entire main section of Magmor Caverns. And just ignore that Magmor and head all the way to the northern area of the Chozo ruins. Right. Dodging the fire. Here I'm actually going to just jump in the lava. A little bit of lava wouldn't be too bad, causing minimal damage. Make our way, avoid the jets of fire. I think they're going to come. There they go. Suppose I could have made that hop, but I'm being a little bit conservative here. Nothing wrong with that. You can hear the sound of a power up there, which indicates that that glass enclosure can be destroyed. Some more flying troopers, or flying pirates. And we are going to ignore the flying troopers and backtrack into areas that we haven't been in for quite some time. A lot of the larger rooms will now have flying pirate troopers. But in areas where it's not important, or precision jumping is not a major concern, you can fly through. You may recall from this room, we had to navigate the Triclops, but now with the space jumps we can just jump over the fence and ignore the Triclops completely. Ignoring the puffers here. Don't forget, in this particular room we have a bombable wall here on both sides, so we'll just bomb the wall, bomb these crates for the energy, navigate around the room, and finally come here towards the other end of Magmor Caverns. Make some jumps along the way. Ah, yes. Shriek bats, familiar enemies. Once again, bypass the save station. Shoot these shriek bats and make our way and jump on these platforms. This is certainly one of the slower parts of the game, just going up these platforms. I'm only going to do this one more time, I believe, in the entire walkthrough. Oops. Almost missed that one. Oh, golly. I completely failed on that one. Alright, well, I guess we're going to ride the platforms up again. And hopefully this time I'll remember to jump on this one and not bonk my head on that particular one. And ride the elevator up. Now we are going to go up to the Sun Tower. We are going to be acquiring our first Chozo artifact. There are a number of clues for the Chozo artifacts, and when we get to the Sun Chamber, I'll read the very first one. First thing to make sure in this room is clear out the War Wasp hives. You definitely do not want to deal with the War Wasps. There's 4 War Wasp hives, so we'll get rid of them. Next, there's these 4 rune puzzles. So there's a rune there. have to use super missiles to blow the covers off these. Scan the rune symbols underneath. 2, 3, and the final rune symbols over here. And so now we have opened this passageway and revealed the spider ball track. So now we can climb up the sun chamber. You might be wondering, why are we going this way when we could easily go from the Arboretum and access it that way? But it turns out that there's vine growth on one of the doors from the Arboretum, so we can't actually go up. And in fact, the sun chamber, this is the only accessible way. Those of you who are astute will have seen that there was what looked like a ghost, a Chozo ghost, and you'd be right, that is a Chozo ghost. We'll have a look at that briefly. So here we are in the sun chamber, and we have a new enemy. Now these Chozo ghosts are some of the more annoying enemies here. Aberration, Chozo ghost, spectral entity, bioelectric field invulnerable to natural energies. As these entities phase in and out of existence, the only way to track them accurately is with X-ray scanning. This partially phased nature makes them invulnerable to natural energy types such as fire, ice, and electricity. Their aggressive and erratic behavior is most likely due to the corrupting effects of phazon in the Talon 4 environment. They appear to be drawn to Chozo religious sites, where they wreak havoc upon anything that dares enter the area. So this is a hint that we now have these Chozo ghosts, and one of the ways that we can fight these Chozo ghosts, we can only use our power beam. The wave beam and your other beams are ineffective. I normally don't have this much trouble. The super missile actually is extremely effective. So if you fire a super missile shot at them, it will either kill them outright or missed again. There we go. So one super missile on normal difficulty will kill them outright. In the higher difficulties, one super missile will weaken mostly, and then you'll either have to fire a second super missile or just blast them with a power beam. There we go. 3 Chozo ghosts finally defeated. And you can see there that door is covered in vines. Now with the death of Chozo ghosts, the vines disappear. There's a hint where the artifacts are. So, a sun chamber high atop our ruined home became the nest of a great beast and a source of corruption. Many Chozo spirits have been drawn to this tainted place, release their bond to the world to claim the artifact of the wild. So, here's where we fought Flagra, and as the clue indicates, we are going to the clue indicates we have gotten the artifact of the wild, and now we will proceed forward. So we will in fact go through that door, which is this way, and we will continue on to get the next major item upgrade. Be aware that in this room we have these Reaper vines and these venom weeds, so we'll just use the power beam to stun both of those things and make our way back to the Arboretum. Going through this morph ball tunnel, we'll fall all the way to the bottom. We will come over here. We are heading away back to the furnace area. So we'll go through here, enjoy those nice effects, and climb to the top this way. Once again, with the space jump, we can no longer have to worry about blasting the blast caps. We can just jump and avoid them completely. I don't think I'm tall enough, or I can jump from there. But maybe there's another spot. I believe we can jump over here, and we'll take out these shrink bats. There we go. Get some more ammunition. Back up to full missiles again, and you can hear the sound of a power-up. So we are just going to hop up here, blow up this grating, and get yet another missile expansion. Carefully hop down, going through here. For the moment, we're going to keep the power beam. Ignore the shortcut. I think it takes longer to go through the shortcut. Blast more shriek bats here at the top, and make our way through this door over here. From an earlier part, we went through here to acquire an energy tank. This time, we are going to go up the spider ball track, and we needed that spider ball in order to gain access to this part. There's some beetles here. It's not important to fight the beetles, but there are a couple scans here. So scan number 1, Chozo lore. What is this otherworldly pestilence that infests the land, seeking out life in its blind need for corruption? And where did the meteor that brought it originate? Was it crafted by alien hands, or is it a roving chunk of a planet that suffered a violent end? Our minds quail in horror at the thought that long ago, in some corner of the universe as yet unseen by our eyes, an entire planet was perhaps once coated with this great poison. Whatever cataclysm may have ruptured that doomed place must have been mighty indeed, and if other meteors from it spread through space, bearing this evil to the far corners of the universe, we hold fast to the hope that this is not so, that the only surviving remnants of this evil are here on Talon 4. Then, at least, there is hope for its eradication. So, over here, there is another scannable creature. Morphology: plated parasite, hardy member of the parasite family, invulnerable to most weaponry. A cousin to the parasite, these creatures are known for their amazing resilience. Field studies suggest a weakness to morph ball delivered weapon systems. And that's a clue that yes, there is a morph ball puzzle over there. We'll go through this tunnel, and there's going to be a number of Chozo lore scans along the way. As you can see, we need the wave beam to go forth, and the boost ball. So hopefully your boost ball skills are good. And there's 3 Chozo lores here. To the entrusted one, if you read these words, then our hope has not been in vain. Your path is fraught with danger. Monstrosities beyond description lurk in the shadows, starving hunting for prey, searching for ways to quench the poisonous urges that bloom in their brains. Some of these are shrewd, but they are blinded by their evil designs. Believing in the black promise of the great poison, they seek to harness it for their own ends. It is these last that are the greatest danger. When you rid the universe of these creatures, you will be the true entrusted one. So the Chozo are expecting us to fight the space pirates, stop what they're doing, and save the planet. None know if our temple, the Cradle, will prove powerful enough to contain this evil forever. For now, it wraps around that abomination, cutting it off from the world above. However, we believe the power or cipher, which has been produced by linking the 12 artifacts, should be strong enough. The fate of this world is now left to the one who will collect all the artifacts in the future. The time when the Entrusted One knows is approaching. So, once again, we're asked to find the 12 Chozo artifacts. Many Chozo are gifted with a distant sight, and even more begin to learn it as our harmonization with the universe becomes more and more complete. We peer forward, seeking prophecy in the ripples of the water, hearing rumors of the coming days on the breath of the wind. Though we celebrate the distant sight, many of these visions are dark. The worst of the prophecies, and the most common, tell of the coming of the worm. Born from parasites, nurtured in a poisoned womb, the worm grows, devouring from within until the world begins to rot. Not all prophecies come to pass, of course, but we cannot help but fear this dark portent. So they're talking about a creature that is at the center of the cradle. Well, gotta switch back to the power beam. And so it alludes to the fact that once we gain access to the impact crater, there will be some creature there that we have to fight. So with this, not too far. So activating that switch leads us to a morph ball puzzle. Just a little bit higher. There we go. Lay a bomb to jump into the bomb slot, and we'll activate another panel at the other end of the room with another bomb slot. This is good practice if you're trying to practice and hone your boost ball skills to go up these half pipes. Again, try to charge that boost ball and release just as you're going up the side. Again, bomb this bomb slot. We'll lower this pillar. This pillar's on a timer, so but thankfully all I have to do is just fall, ride the pillar up to the top, go to the left, and there's yet another missile expansion. Up to 60 missiles in total. Alright, so we'll proceed forward. I believe we'll need, nope, just a missile door here. Open this up. And some scarabs here. I've always found that Retro Studios really enjoy placing enemies in swarms. And here we come to the Hall of the Elders. This is really where you're intended to encounter the Chozo Ghost for the first time. And you can tell that this is a bit of a trial because there's only one. But super missile it to death, and that will allow this statue to be activated. Before we jump in, there are a couple of scans that we should do. First, over here, there's a morph ball tunnel, and there looks to be a station, in this case, missile station. Step into these stations to fully reload your missile launcher. Alright, useful if you're running low on missiles, but I have 49 missiles, and that's plenty. And the second scan is a Chozo lore. Chozo script translated. Things bound to earthly shapes are temporal and frail, existing in a single dimension. They are fragile, vulnerable, and ultimately mortal. However, not all things obey this law. Shapeless, they wait beyond the realm of perception, emerging only when one arrives who can feel their presence. Such is the will of the Chozo. Our will to defeat the evil seeping into this planet remains. We desire only to see the darkness meet its end. The will of the Chozo has no mind or reasoning of its own, though. This will be the Entrusted One's trial. I think this alludes to the fact that the Chozo, even in death, their ghosts and their spirits live on. And so their spirits will protect the Chozo sacred places. And you're expected to fight them, again, as a trial to prove your worthiness as the Entrusted One. And also to the annoyance of the space pirates as well. We'll read more about that in their upcoming space pirate logs. So as we can see, there are these 3 morph ball bomb slots that are activated. We only have the weaponry to activate the deactivate the shield on the first one, and activating the morph ball slot here will change the morph ball path that statue sends us. So we'll head back down, jump in the statue's hands again, and take this new path. As soon as we go through the path, you can see that the path disappears and the original path is restored, and those shields are restored once again. Make our way up here. There's a force field here, so be sure to activate this switch here to deactivate the force field. We'll go through this passageway here and come upon the reflecting pool. This I think is an old puzzle here. Drain that shutoff is holding, maintaining the water level of the reflecting pool at 95%, and scanning the drainage cover here. Fractures detected in talc alloy draining cover. The cover still functions, but its integrity is unstable, which again is, for most people who play these games, is a hint that you want to blow the drain cover and drain the pool. You can see that the obvious shape of this pool is a half pipe, so we are going to use the morph ball to half boost up to the upper platforms. I really like that these stone toads are here to help you, that in case you can't get up here to this, you can get captured by a stone toad, and you'll be there. And we get our next upgrade, the ice beam. So finally, after spending all this time with the wave beam, we now have the ice beam. The ice beam is a more powerful beam than the wave beam, but is a much slower rate of fire, and it seems to me I liken it to a shotgun. We'll be going across the way. It's certainly convenient because we are going to encounter a save station, and we can scan the save station here for scan. This is the only save station that doubles also as a waypoint where there are 2 exits. Let me read that again. Save station. Step into these stations to save your game and fully restore your energy. Well, we're at pretty high energy, and I don't intend to use a save station, so we'll take this morph ball tunnel all the way down here and activate this elevator to head down back to the Talon overworld. With the ice beam in hand, now we are tasked to go all the way back to where we were in the Phendrana Drifts just after we defeated Thardus, to go up that spider ball tunnel to the ice beam door there and continue exploring the Phendrana Drifts. And we will do that in the next video.